purpose, tell me!
Who's down there? Oh! Oh my God, careful, careful. Oh my God.
Sometimes the most dangerous thing in the woods isn't the wildlife. It's the people watching from the shadows. From a creepy mask left hanging right outside your door, to a gunshot shattering the midnight silence just feet from your tent. When you're miles from civilization, how do you know when it's time to run? Jesse Carr's channel focuses on seeking out places most people rarely consider visiting, such as hidden trails and remote natural locations. On September 15th, 2025, she made her way toward a secluded waterfall in Samoa, hoping to enjoy the crystal clear water and the lush, tropical surroundings. What she did not expect was an uncomfortable encounter that would lead her to rethink how she approaches solo travel. After arriving at the site, Jessie was immediately struck by the beauty and isolation of the location. The scenery almost felt unreal, with smaller waterfalls flowing downward before feeding into the larger, deeper pools below. Excited and on her own, she parked the car and began exploring the area carefully. However, Jessie soon noticed a man nearby who stayed close to her. He offered help that felt uncomfortable and continued following her as she moved between the pools.
Are you okay? All good? Jessie. Pardon? I can't remember the name. I don't remember the name. Sorry. There's a man and he's kind of just like hanging around me. Anyway. It'd be good to have rock shoes or something. I feel like that man was like waiting for me to hop in so he could hop in or something. I don't know why.
At first, his presence seemed harmless, almost polite. But it did not take long before she realized the attention made her uneasy. That was when the situation began to feel unsettling. Although he helped her move through the area and initially appeared friendly, his attempts to get closer gradually crossed personal boundaries. Jessie experienced an internal conflict, wanting to remain polite while also recognizing the risk of allowing someone to push past her comfort zone. Before long, the situation escalated further.
Because I just want to be like by myself, with no men around, preferably. Okay, this. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You scared me. Pardon? Cold, yeah. I'm 25. Pardon? A hole. Oh, it's like a cave. Is it a cave? I'm okay. You go. I'll follow you.
As Jessie continued navigating the waterfall area, she reflected on how difficult it can be to balance trust and personal safety when traveling alone, especially for a woman in unfamiliar places. Even though the man helped her take photos, Jessie increasingly felt the need to set clear boundaries, realizing that kindness or politeness should never take priority over personal safety. Despite everything that happened, Jessie still could not ignore how beautiful the waterfall was or how peaceful those first few minutes had felt. Moments like this can leave viewers wondering how easily a peaceful trip can change when an unexpected presence appears nearby. Sometimes the situation may simply be awkward timing or misunderstood intentions, but it still raises a simple question when traveling alone in remote places. How do you decide when it is time to trust the moment and when it is time to leave? The next shocking video of the night comes from Adventuring with Amanda, a US-based channel, centered on solo and small group camping van life travel and remote wilderness adventures. It is January 21st, 2026 at American Girl Mine BLM land on the Arizona-California border near Yuma, United States. The group is settling into their remote desert campsite. The landscape is wide and quiet, typical of Bureau of Land Management land in the region with very few people around. Around 7 o'clock, a.m. shouting is suddenly heard somewhere nearby. The campers immediately recognize the voice as belonging to a man who had already approached their camp once earlier in the week. Realizing this is the second encounter in just a few days raises concern. The group becomes alert and begins preparing for what could turn into an uncomfortable situation.
I don't have a life! I cannot love! I have no purpose, kill me! I cannot love!
Did you make the call, Dan? Huh? Oh, I thought he said you were calling.
Huh?
Here. I've got him. I can't call because I got him on here. Can you call the authorities?
Moments later, the man appears at the campsite. He walks toward the group, asking questions about a nearby event called Schoolypalooza. However, his behavior seems erratic. As the interaction continues, the situation becomes more concerning. The campers remain calm despite the escalating behavior, trying to keep things from becoming confrontational while maintaining distance. One member of the group firmly tells the man that he needs to leave the campsite. Another camper speaks calmly in an effort to prevent the situation from escalating further. Meanwhile, a third person stands nearby holding a tire iron as a precaution in case the situation becomes unsafe.
I don't want to record why he's here because I'm respectful.
Police officers eventually arrive at the scene and take control of the situation. They remove the man from the campsite and speak with the campers about safety concerns in the surrounding desert area. According to the video, the officers warn that isolated locations like this can attract unpredictable encounters and emphasize the importance of being prepared when camping remotely. The experience highlights the importance of awareness, preparation, and teamwork when exploring isolated places where help may not always be immediately available. How do you decide when a situation is just unusual and when it may become something more serious? On October 22nd, 2025, the YouTube channel Jasco, known for overnight camping challenges and paranormal exploration, uploaded a video filmed in the Star Hill Forest outside New York. In this video, Jasco and his friend Chris return to a wooded area linked to old cemeteries and dark local legends. What begins as another overnight challenge quickly shows signs that this forest may not be as empty as it seems.
There was a serial killer that used to roam this forest and bury his victims all throughout the forest as well as this cemetery. In the cemetery, it is also rumored to be haunted by this sort of white-faced demon, and people claim that you look it in its face, that it will scar you for life. There was once a woman who looked at this demon face to face, and she cannot talk to this day. So we're gonna go in there. Chris,
What was that?
why did all of the lights by the tombstones shut off?
That's actually fucking weird.
Actually, guys, there's these little lamps right here. They're scattered all throughout the cemetery. I swear to God, when we got here, hold on. Actually, I just posted this on my Instagram story. Look at this. If you look in the cemetery, the lights are on.
That's concerning.
Jasco and Chris arrive at the Star Hill Forest as night approaches. The area is quiet, surrounded by trees and old graves hidden in the dark. Jasco explains the history of the location, including stories of violence and strange activity. As they move through the cemetery, small details begin to stand out. Solar lights on the graves suddenly turn off as they get closer. The forest feels active even when nothing is clearly visible.
What's that like light green thing over there? You see
Yeah, I
it?
see that. I don't like that.
I'll take a picture.
That's very close.
I'm gonna zoom in on that. What is that? It looks like a tent. Look at my phone.
Yeah,
It's a tent, I
someone's
think.
camping over there.
No way.
That's a tent. You're right.
Checking.
Check it? No, I don't think I want to.
While exploring deeper into the woods, they notice something unusual in the distance. A light-colored tent sits among the trees. Neither of them recognizes it, and they decide not to approach. Soon after, they hear footsteps moving across dry leaves.
And we spoke to some people nearby, the gas stations and stuff, and a lot of people said never go back there because there were rumors of some dark practices that occurred back here. This is apparently the area where that girl seen the white-faced demon that had her basically unable to speak to this day. I hear like walking in the leaves, like the...
Yeah, crunching. Someone out here? Hello?
Wait.
Yeah, I heard that. Poor timing.
Hello? Listen, we don't want to go too far. We're just kind of curious to see who or what's out here. It is so chill. chilling. It's so quiet.
Hello?
Whoa,
What the fuck is
that sounds like a girl's voice.
Hello, you okay?
Do you need help?
It's up to you, bro.
All right, how about this? I have an idea, Chris.
Okay.
Before we make it back to the cemetery, prove to us that you're here, turn the lights back on in the cemetery, at least one of them.
I just saw a red light flash over there. What the fuck was that?
Wait, what?
Sorry, I'm looking over my shoulder. I just saw a red light flash over there. What the fuck?
I see it.
See it? Isn't that crazy?
Thank you. Can you tell me, were you murdered by the serial killer? Okay, so she hates you.
Oh, whoa, what the fuck? The fuck was that?
What is that? Chris, do you see it?
Yeah, what is that?
Who's down there? Oh! Oh my god, careful, careful. Go, 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 go,
Where are we
go,
going?
The sounds are close enough to suggest someone else is nearby when a red blinking light appears deeper in the forest, followed by a low growling sound. Both decide to retreat to their truck. 2 days later, they return to a different camping area nearby.
We drove by there the other night when we first came here, and there was people there. So, curious. Let's go take a look.
Can't see a single thing.
Oh my god.
Probably a good night to go look at the stars.
Someone had a fire here recently.
Okay.
100%, because it's still, brother, it's still lit. I mean, you guys can see that. This is very recent. People are clearly here drinking. About a year and a half ago, we had our tent set up here, and we left to go film in the forest. We came back, and our tents were completely destroyed. Like someone cut them up with knives.
They find a fire pit that is still warm, with smoke lingering in the air. The fire appears recent, suggesting someone was there not long before. Jasko then inserts footage from a previous visit to the same forest. In that earlier trip, their tent had been slashed while they were away. The memory changes how they view the current situation.
That was crazy,
A
bro.
shadow?
It literally in the straight back. It was a person, bro. It literally looked like a person just ran by the trees, like almost like a slow motion run. True.
Choking.
If we have to pee, just make sure we come right here.
Ooh.
Hello?
Ooh, boy.
Bro, what could have fallen from a tree besides leaves? That was heavy.
Locations hold power.
Someone just threw something.
I was gonna say we sleep here tonight. I still think that's the case, because
Apparition.
apparition.
That's what I just saw.
Bro,
I literally
apparition
just saw
is
something
crazy.
run by the trees. What was that?
Whoa.
Ghost.
You don't scare us.
Oh, yeah. What scares me? A little bit.
Right here.
No. I don't want to.
Okay. I'm hearing some crazy noises over there. Whoa.
What the fuck?
Oh, okay. Let's go, 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 go. What is that?
As time passes, more strange moments occur. Chris spots a dark figure moving quickly between the trees. Soon after, a loud metallic sound echoes through the forest. Once again, they leave the area and regroup. They then visit the remains of an old foundation known as the Doctor's House.
Again, bro. Okay. Guys, I have tried every single battery that I have for my night vision camera. Every single battery was at 100%. None of them are working. Like, none of these batteries are working. It's not a camera thing, because we used this literally yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my, it's slippery, careful.
Oh, what the fuck?
On, brother, my camera's being fucked with and now this?
Hello?
So that one time we were here, there was like a massive old luggage here, so moldy and nasty.
Yeah.
And inside was like a bunch of weird personal belongings and dolls and shit.
What is that?
That's crazy. That is crazy. Look at that. What's up? Ugh, ew. Look in there.
Okay.
Oh my God. What happened in this house? What is the residual haunting? Can you tell us?
To cause madness.
Marked. What was that? Yo, yo.
Hello? Bro, the truck's not far. We gotta go, we gotta go.
Thomas.
Thomas, was that you in one of the photos? Was that your car?
Shop. Sickness.
Sickness, of course, the doctor.
While filming, all of their night vision camera batteries suddenly drain, despite being fully charged earlier. On the ground, they find old black and white photographs and a discarded hat. Using a spirit box app, they hear words related to sickness and violence. At the same time, the alarm on their truck goes off, signaling a possible intrusion.
I don't even know, like, I just don't know enough about baseball.
But, yeah, the Yankees won.
Hold up.
What the f was that? Oh my god,
Hold up. Bro, I'm starting to think there might actually be like somebody out here.
Who would be crazy enough to be out here?
No, I know that sounds dumb, but...
As night falls, they camp and talk by the fire when something unexpected happens, making them uneasy and raising the tension. For safety, they decide to sleep inside the truck.
Jess, there's talking. Someone's talking. I hear talking outside the truck. I was kind of awake, and I just opened my eyes. Because I swear it sounded like people were talking outside, and then I heard a whistle. And then I heard more people talking.
Their rest is quickly interrupted by strange sounds. Flashlights begin moving through the trees near the vehicle. The light keeps shining toward them and does not stop when they respond.
Jess, wake up. Jess, please. Bro, there's a fucking light over there. There's a light. There's something over there, look. There's a light right there. Actually a light. There's like a flashlight or something right in front of us.
Where is it? It's off now. Do you think there's someone out there?
That looked like someone holding a flashlight, like looking at us, just standing there. So do it. It literally looked like there was a flashlight. Like someone was like pacing back and forth. It was the weirdest thing.
As well.
Yo, look. Dude, it just flashed again. Someone just flashed right there. I'm telling you.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, see it?
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
see
saying.
it.
It's right there. I don't know what to do.
Can we help you? He's just ignoring us.
I don't understand it.
Moments later, something they did not expect happens.
I don't know, like, I can say for full certainty, there's something weird going on in this forest. Like,
That was a fucking...
that was a gunshot.
There's no fucking way.
That was a gunshot. Okay, well, this is the only way out. I'm just gonna floor it, and whatever the fuck happens, happens.
A loud gunshot echoes through the forest. Facing a clear threat, Jasco immediately drives away. Only then do they realize they may have been followed. Many viewers believe the repeated voices, lights, and gunshot point to human involvement, rather than something paranormal, raising one unsettling question. How long had someone been watching before Jasco and Chris realized they were not alone? On November 16th, 2024, the YouTube channel CJ Faison, known for solo van camping and outdoor exploration, uploaded a video filmed in the Pine Barrens Forest of New Jersey. CJ travels alone to a remote area to camp overnight, choosing a quiet weekday to avoid people. The forest is known for its isolation and dark history. Before twilight faded into night, CJ rode his e-bike around the perimeter. The surroundings felt empty and neglected, with unpleasant smells in the air, giving him the sense that this was not a welcoming place.
You know, there's nobody else camping here, which is good. It's good for me, in several ways, because also too, I don't know if you all feel the same way or not, but like sometimes some seclusion helps you determine whether or not these noises are paranormal, whatever the case might be. And that's why I wanted to get here. There's somebody right there. All right. A little strange. I'm gonna actually go this way just to see what this person's doing. So the truck went this way here. Fish. In some aspects, I think you can hunt out here too. Okay, there's another campsite, and it looks like another outhouse there. Being out here, the sun's kind of going down now. I'm gonna ride around a little bit more because, all right, nighttime, things get creepy. Yeah. I'm actually wishing that somebody was out here camping now, because it would just feel like a little bit more peace of mind. I don't see the trail anymore. So according to my map, I have to go way back that way. Basically, I'm going the wrong way, no light. I'm gonna cut the camera and head back that way as fast as I can. So let's get back to this main road.
On the ride back to camp, his sense of isolation was suddenly broken. Another vehicle was moving along the narrow forest tracks ahead. He immediately turned off the path into the shadows to avoid being seen, a growing unease tightening in his chest. Back in the relative safety of his van, night fully set in. That was when the situation began to feel more serious.
That was an extremely bright light. I swear there was a bright light. A very bright light. Damn, that was so weird. Like, when I'm telling you that was a bright light, I'm like, I'm saying that was enough light to make me like stop and be like, what the hell? Oh shit! Oh gosh, damn it. I'm losing my mind. I'm literally losing my mind right now. Oh, that was this. Dokie, let me just tell y'all. Oh, I may or may not have shit my pants there for just a quick second. Let's go on. Let's kind of explore around a little bit here at nighttime. So,
The heavy silence was suddenly interrupted when a bright, high-intensity beam cut through the tree line, sweeping across his campsite like a searchlight. Adrenaline rising, CJ turned off his interior lights, leaving himself in darkness to watch the unknown source.
hey, that was weird. Let me try something really quick. My camera just went doo-doo-doo and shut itself off as soon as I took a step. Alright, I don't know. Weird coincidence where there's a haunted log in the middle of the forest. I don't know. That was actually a joke. This is so weird down here. Oh my gosh. Whoa. When I'm looking around, I don't know why I'm downhill or getting out of breath going downhill, but this vibe here reminds me of not only like the Pocomoke forest, but it also reminds me of gosh, I can't remember the name of that forest. Eleanor, the Eleanor forest. This gives me Eleanor forest vibes like through and through. The trees aren't like huge trees, or like just like smaller little thinner trees. I don't know if y'all can kind of see it or not, but that's how like the Eleanor forest was. And when I went in that forest, I cannot tell where that noise came from. The worst part is I'm in this valley. Ow. Like, I don't know if it came from down here. That's the van. That's my van. Shit. What the hell? My tripod's knocked over. Wait, I might have actually done that. When I left, I might have accidentally kicked that over or something. I don't know. And I don't know what this noise is over here. I don't know if it's like one of the airplanes. But there was something down in that valley making like a noise. And I'm not sure what the hell that was. Oh, fuck. I'm losing my shit. I really am. also put the bed down, start getting it ready. I just wanted to clear the van, make sure nobody's.
Almost immediately, a strange metallic whining sound echoed from the direction of the swamp. His nerves gave way. He quickly returned to the van and locked the doors, his heart pounding.
Alright. I'm not sure exactly what I heard. I heard a bump, or like a thump or a thud, or I don't know. I can hear planes out of this window right here. I hate to overreact, but I think I'm overreacting. I'm hearing shit. I'm hearing stuff in my sleep. It's freaking cold out here. Hello? You fucking shit! What the? Oh, I'm losing my mind. No, that's a fucking... That's a mask. That's a fucking mask. Hello? I didn't notice that was there earlier. Hello?
In the middle of the night, CJ wakes to a loud impact against the van. The silence that followed was broken by the clear, slow rhythm of footsteps crunching on dry leaves just outside where he lay. Shaking, he pointed his flashlight out the window into the darkness and saw something that stayed with him long after that night. A disturbing mask was hanging from a branch directly beside the van. He knew it had not been there at sunset. Then, the final moment, the sound of a woman's voice drifted through the darkness right outside his door. The situation felt like it was closing in. Sensing a real threat, CJ shouted into the night. The realization that someone might be right outside was too much. Many viewers believe the events point to human involvement rather than coincidence. The moving lights, footsteps, and the masks suggest deliberate actions meant to intimidate or observe. If someone placed the mask near the van, how long had they been watching before? CJ realized he was no longer alone. Carson Schmidt is a young man who enjoys adventure. He often goes snowboarding, hiking, and skiing, sharing his experiences on social media. On February 25th, 2026, he uploaded a video that felt especially unsettling and showed how much being in the right place at the right time can matter. He was skiing with a friend, and after coming down a slope, they suddenly stopped for no clear reason. That's when they noticed something unusual.
That's deep. Dude, I just fucking sank. Hey, they good?
Oh, shit. Hey. Holy
hey, stop.
Shit. We got.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah.
Oh. You okay?
Hold on for a second. Oh. Can you get his skis off, dude?
Oh.
You okay?
Holy fuck.
Can you get his skis off, Carson?
Yeah.
They quickly moved in to help when all they could see were the tips of a man's skis sticking out of the snow. No one knows how long he had been trapped, but it was clear he wouldn't have lasted much longer. Apparently, he had simply fallen into a deep section of snow a reminder that it doesn't take an avalanche to become buried. The man was incredibly lucky that Carson and his friends stopped when they did. It almost felt like something made them pause at exactly the right moment to save him. This case shows how quickly outdoor situations can turn dangerous without warning. The threat isn't always obvious at first, and small moments like stopping or paying attention can make the difference between safety and disaster. If they hadn't stopped, right there, would anyone have found him in time? The disturbing camping encounter of the night comes from Travel Light Adventures, a US-based travel and adventure channel featuring immersive van life, off-grid camping, and road trips through scenic locations. It is March 17th, 2026 in Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States, across the southwestern US. After settling in at the campsite, the setting appears peaceful and quiet. However, events during the night would make him reconsider ever staying there again.
Across the southwestern US, and I'm waking up here at my campsite. I just can't get over how beautiful it is. There were some things that happened last night from ever staying here again. Was that it's an unofficial gun range of sorts, but people said the firing usually happens way out there and around the corner. And when I got here, that's exactly what was going on. So I thought, after winding down for the night, I crawled into my tent, and then that's when things begun. At about 2:30 in the morning,
before arriving, he had read that the area functioned as an unofficial gun range, but reports suggested the shooting usually happened farther away and out of sight. When he arrived, that seemed to be the case, with no gunfire nearby, and everything feeling normal, at least at first. After getting ready for the night, he went into his tent, and that's when everything began. In the early hours of the morning, the situation shifts instantly. Around 2 a.m., multiple gunshots are fired into the ground just feet from his tent. Shortly after a vehicle speeds past the campsite, the sudden noise and close proximity wake him immediately.
But about 20 minutes later, they came back and did the same exact thing. So I honked the horn on my car with my key fob, and they got out of here real fast. On the outside chance that the collective goal of those people was to tell me that I'm not welcome to camp here, congratulations. I will never, ever camp in this spot again. We're ready to roll. God, it is a shame that the experience here was so terrible, because this is just beautiful. Minus the power lines. It's just gorgeous.
About 20 minutes later, the vehicles return and repeat the same behavior. He responds by triggering his car alarm with the key fob, and they quickly leave the area. It raises the possibility that their intention may have been to signal he wasn't welcome there. After that moment, he decides he will never stay at that location again. By morning, everything is packed up and ready to go. After leaving, he relocates to a safer area and continues his trip, later exploring Santa Fe and nearby attractions. While free camping offers freedom and beautiful views, it also comes with unpredictable risks that demand constant awareness. Sometimes nothing is confirmed, but the situation still feels wrong, and if those vehicles had stayed longer, would the outcome have been the same? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.